Hi everyone, I hope y'all are having a great day so far. If you're new to my channel, my name is Katie. So today's video is going to be my Mafia romance favorite recommendations, books. I hope y'all enjoy this. Don't forget that I have a giveaway going on. If you go to my August TBR, you can get the details. Basically comment on that video, subscribe to me. You will be entered in to win one of Tijan's newest releases, Rich Brick. So go ahead and do that right now if you're interested in winning that book. Free book, who doesn't want free books? But anyway, go ahead and subscribe to this channel as well. Currently, right now, pause, subscribe right now, and I hope y'all enjoy. Okay, so this video is gonna be my Mafia romance favorites, recommendations, loves, okay? Now these are all series because I think most books nowadays are written in series, whether they be a continuation of one couple's story or each individual couple's book. But anyway, these are gonna be my favorites. I wanna start out by saying that I love a good Mafia romance. I'm kind of like cool on it a little bit just because I think it was 2016 because I went back and I looked at everything I read. My very first one that I did read, which is gonna be on here. And then I think it was 2016, 2017. I just could not get enough. I literally would read nothing but Mafia romances. I was always trying to find the next best one, the next bigger one. Like I wanted it. Like I had to eat them all up. I had to. So these are actually my favorites. Now I have read some duds, don't get me wrong. One thing I thought would be fun, and y'all let me know if y'all think this would be fun. I'll probably put it out anyway. But going through the Goodreads listopia of Mafia romances and let you know how I think that they stack up. But watch out. I think that's gonna be my next video. We'll see. Okay, reasons why I love Mafia romances. Let me just tell you, I live in Texas. Nowhere near me is any sort of mob racketeering, sort of organized crime. I mean, okay, in that sense. I'm not saying Houston doesn't have its own kind of situation. I don't know. I don't commit crimes, so I'm not sure. But anyway, so I'm fully aware, as most people are, while I'm reading this is not necessarily truth, right? I'm aware of that. I understand that. But what I am saying is I enjoy the fantasy of it. Reasons why. Rich men, typically. Okay, what lady doesn't want to fantasize about rich men? Second, alpha male. I love a good alpha male. Always gonna love a good alpha male. Always gonna love a good alpha male. Like, give me a book with a good alpha male. Not too much though. I don't know, there's a fine line. So, love the alpha male, love the rich men sort of thing, love the danger of it. I don't like straight romances anymore, like just straight up romances. I like there to be a little bit of flavor, something like that in there. There's gotta be a little bit something more. So like the sort of thrilling aspect is what I enjoy as well. So those are my reasons. If you enjoy books like that, go ahead, and you have not touched on the Mafia romance, girl, what are you doing? Or whoever's watching this, girl, what are you doing? Okay, you need to get into it right now, this minute. Read these series, go. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with my very favorite. Well, actually, I decided I'm gonna start off with one. I enjoy it. Don't get me wrong, I recommend it, but it's frustrating. I'm gonna tell you why. Okay, so let me get my notes. And I always look at my notes, y'all. I have the worst memory, so I take notes of everything. If you ever see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at my notes. It's not because of anything else. Okay, Crow's Row by Julie Hockley. Now, let me just tell you why I love this book. There's a lot of thrilling aspects, as to all of these books. Another thing I want to say, oh my gosh, I always do this. I start off with a book and then I start. Okay, one thing is a lot of these books have a similar sort of theme. Most Mafia romances are about arranged marriages. Like I said, I don't know if this is real. I'm not sure. I don't know. But in Mafia culture, in books, typically the daughters are used mainly as kind of like, I keep wanting to say tender, like as in like cash, but like used as a commodity basically, not as a person. And so they're used to further alliances with different families, things of that sort. So there's a lot of arranged marriages, Mafia romances. I wouldn't say every single one of these is an arranged marriage. Actually, I think maybe only one or two series is going to be arranged marriage. I feel like that one's kind of boring. It's kind of played out. So some of these are just, they're different. I typically love a Mafia romance where she doesn't know he's in the Mafia and she finds out that he is, because I mean, I don't know. Y'all gonna think I'm crazy. I need to stop saying this stuff. But the first one, like I said, is frustrating to me. Number one reason is she wrote these 2 books and that's it. She's never written anything else. There's only 2 books. So the second book, it has some sort of conclusion, but there's definitely room for a 3rd book. I read this a long time ago when there still maybe was a chance that she could have written a 3rd book. Now there's no chance. So she's had like 0 activity in like the longest of time. It's kind of frustrating. So basically it's about this character. Her name is Emily. She's in college and she is a little jogger, and so she goes and jogs and she witnesses a murder, and the person who is murdering the people is the mob boss. His name is Cameron. Well, he ends up capturing her and holding her captive. At first it's a little bit dodgy, but then as it goes on, it's less of a captor situation. I love it because he's like kind of a younger guy too. I love it because he is an alpha male. I love the story. She's still in college. He of course lets her go back to college. The second book is kind of like a surprise at the end. I don't know, it's very thrilling in my opinion. I really enjoyed it, but just know whenever you read the first 2 books, there's not going to be a 3rd. But that's a good thing that you know right now, but there's not going to be a 3rd. Definitely read that one. The next 3 are random, but the last one is my absolute favorite of all of them. So Eagle Elite series by Rachel Van Dyken. This was the very first Mafia romance that I read. I wouldn't say that it started off my Mafia obsession, but I would say that it definitely got my noggin a little bit, you know, twisting and turning about these type of books. I love Rachel Van Dyken. I'm probably gonna do a whole video on my love of Rachel Van Dyken and all of her books that I think are great. I want to recommend her as an author. She's a great author. I love her writing style and she's funny. Like all of her books, I think she's got a little bit of a sense of humor. She's very sweet too. There's 11 books in this series. Now I've only read the first 3 and I need to get into the rest. I just kind of, I don't know, I lost kind of interest in that world, but I need to go back to it. Anyway, Trace, she wins a lottery to go to, not a lottery, a scholarship to go to this school called, I guess it's Eagle Elite, I cannot remember. And she meets Nixon. Of course, he's like alpha dog, hot male on campus. Of course, right? This is one of those that's not very smutty. There's not a lot of graphic scenes. So if you're not really interested in something super graphic, go ahead and pick these up. I will say, as the 3rd one goes on, yes, it's graphic, okay? The first 2 are not that graphic, I would say. Smut level, maybe 5. And so she immediately goes to him and she's new and people make fun of her. I love Nixon's character. There's a semi kind of love triangle with Chase, who's also an amazing character. So the first 2 books are gonna be Nixon and Trace. I think that's how they end up. Her name is Tracy. She goes by Trace. Anyway, so the first 2 books are gonna be about them, and then each book afterwards is gonna be moving into a different couple. I love that this is more of a, she meets him, she doesn't know who he is, and it's more of like a high school, college type of romance versus arranged marriage. I highly, highly, highly recommend. The next one is gonna be the Born in Blood Mafia Chronicles by Cora Riley. Cora Riley writes a lot of different Mafia books. I think that's her like specialties. There were 4 originally and I had read all 4 of those. Well, I didn't realize that she had 3 more that came out in March. So I guess I gotta get back on those. The first one is Bound by Honor. It's going to be the typical, you know, arranged marriage, and each one of these is the same family. All the women are the same family. The second one, it's a cousin, but the rest are sisters of the 4 original books. Now the rest of the books, I can't kind of talk on those. I will start reading those, of course. It starts out with the oldest daughter, then the capo, I cannot remember, the consigliere of this Mafia family. They're an arranged marriage and they get together. This guy's very sweet in this one. He, of course, has got the alpha male vibe. Clearly, she's arranged marriage. She doesn't really want to get into it, but of course they fell in love. I really did enjoy this one because I felt like each book, each of the male characters were so different. They have a different sort of vibe, each one of them. So Bound by Honor, she's the oldest, so she feels like she needs to marry this guy as honor. Bound by Duty, same thing. It's a cousin and her first husband died, I think. And so she marries this other guy whose wife also died. That one is my least favorite. So if you're gonna be reading the first one and you're like, oh, this is so good, and the second one you're kind of like meh about it, go ahead and read the third one because the third one is my favorite, Bound by Hatred, because it's more of the enemies to lovers sort of situation. It's less of, oh, we're married, I guess we have to fall in love, and more of, ooh, I'm not gonna marry that dude. Oh, y'all, that one is so good, Bound by Hatred. Now that is some smut. These books are definitely smutty. That one is some smut. Go ahead and pick these up. And Cora Riley, very good writing. She has a lot of Mafia books. Fourth one, I really love this one. It's called The Professional. Now this one is gonna be more of a Russian Mafia sort of situation. I would say like this is the most alpha male out of all the alpha males. There's something about him that's just His name is Aleski, and then the female love interest, his name is Natalie. So she's all just living her best life in college. All of a sudden Aleski comes and tells her, hey, you have a father who's in Russia, and I gotta come take you because his enemies are trying to get you, and she's basically taken from her life. Once again, one of those, not like a really arranged marriage, one of those, oh, I had no idea. I had no idea you were in the mob. And here we go. I really did enjoy this one. Great smut. Great smut. Great smut. So good. Read it if you're interested in something like that. Very good. It's called the Game Maker series by Kristen Cole. Now Kristen Cole, she does a lot of like fantasy, paranormal. I think she does a lot of like vampire type books, if I remember correctly. Definitely fantasy books, or paranormal, sorry y'all. I interchanged those, I probably shouldn't. But anyway, the first two are very good. It's The Professional and then it's The Master. Now, I haven't read the third book because The Master, I was kind of neither here nor there about it. I enjoyed it. It just wasn't my like absolute favorite, but The Professional, read it. Y'all, read it. Read it, read it, read it. It is so good. Now here comes my absolute favorite, the Maidenman series by Brienne. She also does mainly Mafia books. Now, y'all, these books are so good. Now, I've only read the first 4 because at the time I read them all at once, and then there is 4 more. Each one of them is like the name of the person. So Nero is the very first one. That is my least favorite. I'm not gonna lie. I felt like it was neither here nor there, but as you move on, so freaking good. Each book is going to be about a different male character and their love interest. So it starts out in a high school. It's another one of those, oh, I had no idea he was in the Mafia. What? So it starts out in a high school. That's where Nero and Elle meet. Elle sees something and he's ordered to find out more about who she is. And of course they fall in love. I mean, why not? So these are all made men. They're part of the same Mafia outfit. My least favorite is Nero. I don't know why, it just didn't speak to me that much. I had a hard time finishing it, but the next ones were so good. Absolute favorite is Luca. So each one of these men, they have an apartment on top of a casino, and I love casinos. I love Vegas, I love gambling. So I don't know, maybe that spoke to me, but so good. They're a lot less like of a thriller. There is definitely stuff going on. I don't know, Luca, so good. So good, but you have to read each book in order to get to Luca. So you can't just go straight to Luca because then you won't know really what's going on. But each one of them's good. Yes, these are definitely smutty. All of these books I would consider smutty. If you're not interested in that, go ahead and, you know, don't read these. There's 8 books in the series. I have not read the last 4. I really need to, but I think it's like different. Like it's not the same original characters in these. And I think I also had like such a book hangover from Luca. Those are my favorites. If you have any more Mafia romance recommendations, let me know. Like I said, I've read a bunch. I've read far too many. I went through a period where that's all I would read. Far too many. I've read the sweeter ones. I've read a really raunchy one. These I would all say, most of them are PC. I think that there's some Mafia romances that are just very wild. One of them I actually had right behind me, The Bandit. That series by B.B. Reed. If you're not ready to read something crazy, do not read that book. I can do part 2. I can do Mafia romance standalones. Ooh, that sounds like it would be fun. A Mafia romance standalone. Let me know. Comment down below if that's something you're interested in. So I wanted to announce it on this video, what I've decided. Not too many people have commented on that video. So what I've decided is everybody who commented on that video is gonna get a book. I want you to have a book. If you commented on my video and you care to subscribe and be one of my subscribers and comment on that video, you're gonna get a book. I will message the few people that commented and I will get your information so I can send you the book. I hope that y'all enjoy this. Let me know if you like these sort of videos. Let me know if you want some more Mafia recommendations. I am so totally for that. Like I said, it's one of my faves. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe and thank you so much.